So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream.
Senate, I'd like to call this meeting into order at 3:11 p.m. on November 28th. First item on the agenda is opening roll call.
Carter.
Present.
Ford.
Present.
Tate. De Leon.
Present.
Jones. Twang.
Present.
Bradford. Curtis. Norris.
Here.
Bede. Washington. Myers Washington. Rodriguez. Bass.
Present.
Esther.
Present.
Crockett. Kamari. Scott.
Present.
Pointer. Doggett.
Present.
Owens. MacArthur. Marsh.
Here.
Curry. Gibson. Green. Kane.
Present.
Seymour.
Present.
Bautista.
The next item on the agenda is the reading and approval of minutes from the last meeting, November 14th, 2012.
The meeting was called to order at 3:13 p.m. The reading and approval of the minutes from November 7th were approved at 19 yeas and 0 nays. A motion to amend the agenda to open the speeches by senators section was approved at 9 yeas and 7 nays. The speeches by senator, under speeches by senators, Senator Ford spoke about his veto piece of legislation and gave clarity as to why this document was initially presented. A motion to return to the regular agenda was approved. Under new business and legislation, SB-FA-12-11, new senator preparation resolution was approved at 20 yeas and 0 nays. A motion to amend the agenda to open old business was denied. SB-FA-12-12, Protect It, Improve It, Pass It On Act was approved at 21 yeas and 0 nays. SR-FA-12-13, AG Power Act was approved at 21 yeas and 0 nays. A motion to amend the agenda to allow Chief Justice Foster to appoint 2 student court defenders was denied. SB-FA-12-10, 2012 Student Society of Health Systems Pharmacists. Motion to exceed the 500 cap was approved, and the motion to allocate $1,000 was also approved. SB-FA-12-11 Housing Town Hall Meeting Bill was approved at 19 yeas and 0 nays. Under old business and legislation, the SR-FA-12-01 Automated Extended Defibrillator AED Safety Act was approved. SR-FA-12-08, the Fighting Tigers Den Multi-Complex was also approved. President Andrews was allowed to make an announcement about the veto legislation. His issues comprised of drawing students to an official website instead of a channel based on hits, the SGA historian not being able to record the Senate meetings in their entirety, the new legislation stating be it further resolved instead of be it resolved, and the execution of the legislation coincides with that of the SGA website, but the spirit and initiative was spot on. With a 2/3 vote, the Senate will override the veto, and it stands overridden at 15 yeas and 3 nays. Under speeches by students and our guests, Ryan Barker, he thanked the Senate for all that they've done for the school and said, keep up the good work. Shanice Lynn, this past Friday, students who toured the campus took up most of the seats, in the cafeteria. Is there a way to maybe extend hours on Fridays to prevent this from happening? Cedric Darden spoke of his toy drive that is actually today. It's a 24-hour toy drive going on until tomorrow, and every toy donated will be worth 1 hour of community service. Darius Dwight Banks explained his situation and involvement with grade appeal injustice between him and a graduate professor within the School of Communication, emphasizing that the process of a graduate student appealing a grade should be changed. Student Regent Juan Sorto, under speeches by student government officers, formally thank the Senate for working alongside him as student regent, privileged to be serving the body, and he appreciates the entire Andrews administration. Be live. He brought Subway sandwiches for the Senate and gallery. Olivia Turner is TSU. She attended the Cost Open House and Alumni Partnering Luncheon. She also did a student tribute to retirees. She played second in Verizon Wireless Ultimate Rank position to help bridge the gap between minorities in mathematics, and student government representation was poor for homecoming with multiple class team communication and scheduling conflicts. President Andrews, executive cabinet meetings will be every Monday at 3 p.m. room 207 in SSLC. He now has 2 voluntary office aides. Chief of Staff is putting together a database for volunteers, so reach out. All scholarships from last spring are soon to be dispersed. Miss Black and Gold pageant was that night at 6. The Renegades meeting was that Thursday at 4. First home basketball game was at 7 on November 16th. Chief Justice Robert Foster apologized to the Senate for not putting the student defenders on the agenda. Student court feels a disconnection between the traditional and legislative branch. Questioned the legislation passed today and reiterated that the power of the AG is not to make law, but what she says is seen as official advisement. For the report of the Senate chair, he congratulated Senator Jones and the Buildings and Grounds Committee for working swiftly on the potholes near the Student Center exit. He stated that there is only 2 meetings left, and Regent Juan Soto has purchased Subway platters for the Senate as well as the gallery. Please let us as a body show appreciation for his services and passion towards this organization. Under announcements, Senator Faday support the Collegiate 100 Men events that was that week. Senator Seymour, graduate school update. They visited different departments asking how could SGA help grad students on the 5th through the 9th of November, and giving thanks for research workshop at 7:30 in the type room Monday the 19th. Senator Kane, TSU TV Speak screening will be aired in the MLK November 16th. IVP Cut Kelvin, Friday there will be a tailgate pregame, support the Collegiate 100 Men events, encourages everyone to get involved and enjoy their college experience. Damian Jones, acknowledge all veterans in respect to Veterans Day. Senator Kamari, International Education Week was last week, and she will be posting photos respectively. The Senate looks nice. De Leon, next Academic Affairs Committee was Friday the 16th. Please bring all respective documents, and the meeting was adjourned at 5:22. No senators were written up.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes from November 14th, 2012? It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Minutes passed. The next item on the agenda under new business is a piece of legislation by Senator Ford, Senate Resolution SR-FA-12-14.
Good afternoon, Senate. My name is Oliver Smith-Perry, and I'm a sophomore.
Good afternoon, my name is Adele McCarthy. I'm a Senator of the sophomore class.
Good afternoon, Senator. My name is Wally Walsh. I'm also a sophomore pre-form major.
Marcus Esser, Senator Courtyard.
Good afternoon, my name is Jalen Jones and I'm a sophomore here.
Good afternoon, Jakari Bass, Senator of TOSU.
Good afternoon, I'm Javon Artis.
Good afternoon, Senate. Good afternoon, Gallery. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. SR-FA-12-14, Entering Tigerland Initiative. Whereas Article 1, Section 4, Item A states the SGA shall provide for effective student representation in planning, execution, and evaluation of all activities affecting the Texas Southern University student community. Whereas, on a daily basis, community members and visitors approach our luxurious campus without knowing when they have entered the campus of Texas Southern University. Whereas we want people to drive towards the campus and automatically know they are entering Tigerland. Whereas new maroon and gray street intersection signs bearing the famous Fighting Tigers logo shall be placed on the surrounding streets of Texas Southern University. Whereas all street signs above a stop sign that falls in and around the campus parameters shall be painted maroon with eco-friendly paint. Whereas the exact location of the signs to be painted shall be determined during an External Affairs Committee meeting. Whereas this addition to the campus will make a big impact in creating a more welcoming atmosphere to the city, state, and local community, and also showing our Fighting Tiger pride. Whereas these signs will create a huge sense of school pride every time a student or alumni visits the campus. Whereas the signs should meet certain size requirements that shall be determined by the Buildings and Grounds Committee, as well as the Buildings and Grounds top brass. Whereas all signs must be renewed and updated at least once every 5 years. Whereas the final design of a renewed sign shall be voted on before the Student Senate. Whereas there shall be a unveiling ceremony free to the public before putting in place the renewed signs. Be it resolved, the SGA Student Senate shall pass SR-FA-12-14, mandating the Student Government Association of Texas Southern University begins to work with the Board of Regents, the City of Houston, and any other necessary persons to properly put in place this project. Student Senate, I think this will be a great addition to the transformation of our campus. This also will give the student body a chance to add our own touch to the university.
Senator Curry? No questions. Senator Payne? Senator Gibson? Senator Doggett?
No question.
Senator Pointer? Senator Bradford?
No questions.
Senator Washington?
No questions.
Senator Owens?
No questions.
Senator Fadade? Senator Scott? No questions. Senator Crockett? Senator Rodriguez? Senator Marsh?
No.
Senator Seymour?
No questions.
Senator Bautista? Senator Gallup? Senator Norris?
I like the idea, gentlemen, and I commend you. My only question would be, changing street signs is a city policy. So just what due diligence did you all do in terms of this? Because my only thing is, if we do pass this, there might not be anything that we can actually do outside, because we don't control the city of Houston.
To answer your question, under be it resolved, we put down that as soon as possible, we will start working with the city and the Board of Regents and any other necessary person in order to put this project in place. So we will talk to the necessary people to put this project in place.
Senator James Moore?
This is a great initiative. I know you're racial, that many universities have it.
Can senators please remember to speak up?
Sorry. Okay. Yes. And so my question is, like, is President Rutley aware of this? I mean, everyone in administration already knows this, or you just present it to us and then you're gonna take it to him? Or?
No, because I wanted to first take this to him, but I couldn't take it to him because I would be going on behalf of the SGA. I wanted to first get approved by the Senate before we go as the SGA.
Right.
You know, make sure everybody is behind the project first.
Okay.
Senator Jones?
Thank you.
Oh, no question.
Is there a need for a second round of questions? Seeing that there are no more questions, is there a motion to approve SR-FA-12-14?
I move to approve SR-FA-12-14.
Second. It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Congratulations.
Whereas according to the Constitution, Article 4, Section 6, Item R states the Senate shall approve by 2/3 votes resolution reflecting the student body on matters affecting them. Whereas currently there is a lack of space in the Student Center bookstore as seen by the towering piles of paraphernalia and small aisles to walk through to view all merchandise. Whereas this SGA administration sees fit in relocating the bookstore to the West Garage to a retail lot that is larger than that of the current location. Whereas the relocation of this store will benefit the amount of merchandise that can be displayed throughout the store, which will essentially raise profitability. Whereas it will become a pillar in the community rather than just a student center amenity on the campus of Texas Southern University. Whereas the exchange for a more luxurious lounge inclusive of a convenience store employed solely by students where everyday college essentials can be purchased. The Pride, be it resolved, the Student Government Association shall approve SR-FA-12-15, the Bookstore Replacement Act, to ensure the replacement of the Texas Southern University bookstore and establishment of the Pride.
All right, so then we'll have one round of questions. Senator Parker. Senator Purdy. No question. Senator Kane. No question. Senator Gibson. Senator Dobbie.
Do you think the relocation of the bookstore make it inconvenient for students? Because I know I've been to the bookstore just because it's right across from Academy.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Do you believe the relocation of the bookstore will make it inconvenient for some students?
Yeah, I feel like it would make an inconvenience to some students, but again, as an organization, we can't please everyone. But what it will do is stretch the traffic of campus. People will essentially be walking more so down towards that end of the campus, which really sees no student activity, as well as when the new dorms come up. It'll just stretch out the campus. I feel like it'll be more of an aesthetic look versus for the school and the community.
Senator Porter. Senator Bradford. Senator Washington.
For clarification, which garage is
The one by the new science building.
Senator Owens.
No, thank you.
Senator Day.
Just had a quick comment. Sorry, like an issue with obtaining scantron for the majority of students, and I guess with scantron still remain.
Yeah, and the convenience store solely employed by students where everyday college essentials can be purchased.
Senator Crockett.
No question.
Senator Rodriguez.
No question.
Senator Morris.
How long will this process take?
Myself and President Andrews and the Academy just had a meeting with Dean Saunders yesterday, and it's kind of already been talked about for himself and President Redley, and it's in the works. They asked us to propose this, and
Senator Bass.
Do you know what other places exactly will be going into the open space?
The open space in the West Garage, or that's going to become vacant in the bookstore.
Yeah,
The the idea right now is kind of like a more studious lounge, because this lounge right here, I come up the stairs about 10 times every day, and I constantly see maybe the same people in there or little to none people in there. And my opinion, maybe it's because of the glass. People can't concentrate and look at things like that, and just a first floor amenity would be nice in our student center.
Senator question. Senator Esther.
So we still put the food court in that way?
The food court is actually going to be in the new dorm. It's going to be 6 vendors. So, yeah, we lost, but we won. So.
Senator Ford. No question. Senator Batista.
Oh, it's going to be on the first floor. If you, okay, I don't know where it is, but Innocent Logic right there on the corner. If you drive past there and look to the right or to the left, depending on where you're coming from, it's like a big retail lot. It's probably about 500 square feet bigger than what we have downstairs. It's on the first floor. It's not like upstairs or anything. It's going to be right there. And it's going to be open to the community. It's going to be a bit bigger.
What are these new dorms that you speak of?
With all respect, I feel that this is about the Bookstore Replacement Act. I can address the dorms later.
Senator Lewis. Mr. Senate Chair, here's a couple of things. By the way, we knew about this. We talked about this with the law school president. He just had a couple of questions, not pertaining to this, but as kind of intrinsic to this. His questions were this: law students, especially our first year law students, start orientation 2 weeks before main campus starts, and then the second and third year law students start a week before school starts. And sometimes we've had problems having access to the bookstore here. So with this being implemented, is there a way, and he said his question was, that typically law students have 12 to 15 books per semester. And he just didn't want law students to have to carry books from that in here. So if there's a way that we can work out.
Well,
to kind of counter that, we do have, some new well-functioning trams that can assist people from the bookstore to wherever they need to go. And that's something in the contract that I guess we can establish with Barnes and Nobles.
Okay.
Those are the people who own the bookstore.
Okay, no, that's right. They just, as long as they just have access, and we can talk more about this.
Well, I just have a comment. Okay, when we have orientation every year, usually for freshmen, they're in the auditorium, and they're, they walk around, there's some places out there. Maybe they would just walk way over there to see the bookstore.
Well, yeah, and then that means they can see more of this beautiful campus.
Senator Jones? No question. Is there a need for second round of questions?
This is a quick question. So you said the new school course is gonna be put in the dorm. So what's gonna take place of the bookstore? Like what's gonna go there?
I said lounge, Senator Owens.
Any other questions?
I think that this being on the other side of the university is a great idea. Not only does it get us walking, but, and everyone's against this exercise thing, I'm not sure. Not only gets us walking to the other side of the campus, but also a lot of people never even go on that side. A lot of people never go inside the museum. A lot of people never actually make it to the gym because they clearly don't like walking down that way. So I think it's a great idea to expand our university and put something at the opposite end to move people to see our entire university. So kudos to
Thank you. Is there a motion on the floor to pass SR-FA-12-15?
I move to pass SR-FA-12-15.
second.
Motion has been moved and properly second. All in favor, please raise your hand and say yea.
Yay.
All opposed? Next item on the agenda is Senate Resolution FA-12-12.
Okay, what I have here is a College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences Town Hall reimbursement bill. Whereas the Student Government Association Constitution, Article 1, Section 4, letter B states the SGA shall serve as a forum whereby student opinions, views, and aspirations may be properly discussed and acted upon, whereas all senators shall hold town hall meetings in search of issues regarding their constituencies in a comfortable professional setting. Whereas academic Senator Lynn Hong provided refreshments to carry out a well-executed town hall meeting in the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences on November 19, 2012. Whereas the Student Government Association Constitution Article 1, Section 4, letter D states the SGA shall provide for effective student representation and planning, execution, and evaluation of all activities affecting the Texas Southern University student community. Whereas as an organization, we have funds specified for these needs of public forums as such stated and shall use them when necessary. Be it resolved, the Student Government Association and Student Senate shall approve the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences Town Hall reimbursement bill to ensure that Senator Hong's efforts to please her constituents on behalf of her personal budget is properly reconciled. The total amount to be reimbursed shall not exceed $56.15.
Is there a need for a round of questions?
Yes.
And on the second sheet, there's a receipt for everything that she bought, just so you guys can see.
Senator McLaughlin? Senator Curry? No question. Senator Kane? No question. Senator Gibson? Senator Doggett? No question. Senator Point?
I have a question. So, instead of going through student services, you just pay for this out of your pocket, and now you're asking to be reimbursed for it.
Yeah, because I had this planned out like a couple weeks before, and I spoke to a section about this, and he just recommended that I pay for a couple weeks. I didn't mind because I wanted to have a science fair instead of going on the meeting and then not time.
I gave her a shot, so get her reimbursed. Well, that she can write, well, that we can write a bill. So I did.
Senator Bradford? Senator Washington?
No question.
Senator Owens?
No question.
Senator Day?
Doesn't schools not pay taxes, so we didn't have them better?
Sir, I can't hear you.
To my knowledge, schools don't pay taxes, so that have been
fill out a reimbursement.
Senator Crockett? No questions. Senator Rodriguez? Senator Marks?
No questions.
Senator Vance?
No questions.
Senator Seymour?
No questions.
Senator Esther? No questions. Senator Ford? No questions. Senator Bautista?
Just a comment, take back off of Senator today. As long as, when she's reimbursed, as long as she provides, the Texas Sales and Use Tax, form that says that we are a state agency, the taxes can be reimbursed, so she will get that back.
Thank you.
Senator Lewis? Senator Young?
I do have a comment. I want to commend you for having this meeting. And how many students were in attendance at the meeting?
Some couldn't make it, but Shay, and they came up to me prior and afterwards. I followed up with them afterwards. They came up to me, they had a lot of comments about the building and some of the professors. Those at the actual meeting were a handful. They were kind of confused about where the meeting was, which is something that I will note and use that for the next time I'll be next semester. I'd say about, a handful came by just like check out and go about their day because it was at an awkward time too. So that's something.
About 10 people?
Yeah, I'd say around there. They were kind of just like lingering around the area.
Senator Jones? No questions.
Is there a motion to pass SB-FA-12-12?
I move to pass.
Approve SB-FA-12.
Second.
Motion will be moved and properly second. All in favor, please raise your hand and say yea. All opposed?
The next item on the agenda is Senate Bill SB-FA-12-13, which is the reconciliation bill for fall 2012, written by President Andrews, sponsored by Senator Tate. Seeing that Senator Tate is not here, and everybody that would like to sponsor this piece of legislation so that it may. Yes, sir. He will.
As Senator Crockett is talking now, I'll go straight into the bill. Good afternoon, Senator Andrews, President. The reconciliation bill of fall 2012, whereas according to the Constitution, Article 1, Section 4, letter A states the SGA shall provide effective student representation in planning, execution, and evaluating all activities affecting the Texas Southern University student community. Whereas the process of approving expenditures, executing funds, and receiving confirmation is not in compliance with the student government standards. Whereas according to Article 6, Section 6, letter I, Article 5, Section 7, letter M, Article 5, Section 7, letter B, the standard financial process is the student senate shall approve by majority all SGA expenditures exceeding 200 per week by the SGA president by the student senate. Countersign all requisitions, checks written on the SGA account which regard actions by the executive cabinet by the president. Countersign all requisition checks for disbursement of SGA funds by a comptroller. Whereas the process shall be executed from this moment signed into law. Whereas the total unauthorized cost associated with the SGA travel is $14,493, which will cover the cost of airfare, $2,794 per diem, $2,895 hotel, $7,289 rental cars, $915, CBC registration, $600. Whereas the Student Government Association Constitution, Article 4, Section 6, letter I states the student senate shall approve all majority of all SGA expenditures exceeding 200 per week by the SGA president. Be it resolved, the student senate shall pass SB-FA-12-12, -13, sorry, the typo. The reconciliation bill of fall 2012 to implement the standard financial fiscal process. Approve the unauthorized cost spent on the trip to Washington, D.C. for the Congressional Black Caucus. Be it further resolved, a complete detailed audit of the SGA budget after said audit is complete. SGA shall seek a financial advisor solely to focus on SGA's fiscal matters. Now, this reconciliation bill is to ensure that our budget is concise and in appropriate order with the actual bills and financial spendings that we've made this semester. Looking through the Constitution and seeing that the Senate has a role in this, so does the executive office with signing all checks and stuff like that. This has not been happening through some breakdown of communication. Everything that comes out of our budget shall be signed by me and Comptroller Spencer. Regarding the SGA travel, neither me or Comptroller Spencer signed off on it, nor did the Senate vote on it. So we must reconcile our budget and actually go through audit all of our expenditures to make sure we go into 2013 knowing exactly our budget and our standings. So this is what the reconciliation bill of fall 2012 is, to make sure we all are on point. Also, some minor issues that we need to look at that will be a result of this bill. We have a lot of leftover baggage from the past administration. We just got a bill from Academy Awards for awards that were used for last year's closing gala. So we have a lot of things that we need to dig deep inside and see what's really going on with our budget and grab control over it. That's why in the be it further resolved, we are now seeking a financial advisor to solely deal with our financial matters. Just one administrator solely directly for us to go to and get all of our things paid for. So time won't be overlapped.
We'll have one round of questions. Senator McCarthy, Senator Klein, Senator Curry, no question. Senator Kane, Senator Gibson, Senator Doggett, no question. Senator Punter.
Question, yes. So is this is this approving an audit, or is this approving $14,493?
It's approving all of it.
And that's the second question, kind of tied into the same thing. Do we need to write a bill to do an audit?
Yes.
Senator Bradford.
No question.
Senator Washington.
No question.
Senator Owens.
No question.
Senator Fidel.
Yes. This is still about the issue with Senator Jones, correct?
No, it's not an issue with something.
Senator Shaw. No question. Senator Rodriguez.
No question.
Senator Marsh.
No question.
Senator Bass.
So this is basically like gonna pay like student services since they.
No. This bill is exactly to rectify and get us working on the standard process where you guys approve, I sign, Comptroller Spencer signs, the money is released. That's not been happening this semester.
Senator Seymour.
I apologize, my question is similar to Senator Pointer. Just so I can understand better, this is an approval for an audit and an approval for the $14,000.
Yes, and also if you look, it's also to seek to add a financial advisor.
And the $14,000 will come from where and go to where?
It's already came from the SGA budget. So it's reconciling the process.
Senator
No question.
Senator Ford? No question. Senator Bautista?
Who will delegate the financial advisor?
The delegation is really just we're gonna go through an executive process. We'll have a meeting with all the execs. The grade 3 officials are always welcome, but it will be executive decision. We have about 9 executive officers.
Senator Norris?
Just a quick question, just strictly for information. I hope this doesn't come up in any other misconstrued. Let me say that first one. What is the comptroller? Does he not keep the budget? Yeah, I'm really not saying that.
The problem is Comptroller Spencer. Let me go on record right now. I'm looking at the Senate Secretary. The Comptroller Spencer has been great in this process. He's actually the one who came to me saying, like, we need an audit. We need to make sure all of our finances are handled by us. Now what we do is we just send the bill over and then we let them handle it. But actually what needs to happen is us to actually go through that process and actually have our signatures on it so we know what's coming on. Yesterday, our budget, sitting right now, Senator Tate, I'm not sure why she's here, or her excuse, but she actually has a breakdown of all the bills spent, and looking at the budget as of yesterday, it's aligned, but we still need to do the audit.
Senator Delian?
Yes. This financial officer, is it going to be employed by the TSU or someone you're going to appoint?
It won't be a paid position. We'll just either seek to, like in the old days, have Miss Arthur, who's right around the corner, do our transactions, or seek somebody with not that many tasks in the Office of Student Services. My personal opinion is to go back like the old days and just walk around the corner and have Miss Arthur approve our bills. We can do that right after the Senate.
Senator Jones?
No, I commend you and Comptroller Spencer for catching these issues before they get out of hand so that we get our fiscal house in order. So, good job, Mr. President.
Is there a motion to approve Senate Bill SB-FA-12?
I just have a quick question. Is it possible that we can table this because he's asking for us to approve $14,493 of obviously unapproved money, and then he's asking us to also approve an audit. So I believe it needs to be separated and have a resolution to approve an audit, and it needs to be separated to have $14,493 to be approved for a bill.
Point of information. On that same part, can we just, I mean, if that's what we were going to do, not saying that, could we just amend the, make a motion to amend the bill itself and pass part of the bill? And not, if that's what we're going to do, I'm not saying, well, I'm just saying, as opposed to tabling the whole thing.
So are you asking, can we just audit, re-amend just for the audit that we were just approving for the audit? And,
or however, however.
I mean, both parts are essential, and I think you're overlooking the financial advisor. Like that's the key point. That's why it's being further resolved after we seek to have, after we resolve the issue that's been lingering with the travel, which was a huge miscommunication, and I'll take full responsibility for that. But in that process, nobody did their correct job. The process starts in the Senate, then it comes to my desk, and then the comptroller signs it. So that process was not followed. Neither the Senate Chair Carter didn't sign a bill for the travel. I didn't sign the check. Comptroller Spencer didn't sign the check. None of that was done in this process. So what we're doing is we're making a standard financial process that we must follow that's on paper. And then we will seek to have a financial advisor that will make everything smooth sailing for the year 2013.
Seeing that there are no more questions, is there a motion to approve Senate Bill SB-FA-12-13?
I move to approve SB-FA-12-13.
Second.
It's been moving properly seconded. Please, everybody in favor, raise your hand and say aye. Aye. Any keeping aye all the time? All those opposed, same sign. the agenda is another bill for Miss Texas Southern University, Senate Bill SB-FA-12-14. Is there somebody else that wishes to sponsor it? Seeing that Mr. Green is not here. Yeah, you guys are ready to vote.
Senate Rosemary Bautista, graduate senator.
I'll be attorney of Texas Southern University.
Marcus County Senator, reimbursement programs.
You can take it out.
Okay, well, every year,
This is SB-FA-12-14, Miss Texas Southern University Annual Christmas Extravaganza. Whereas the Student Government Association Constitution Article 1, Section 4, letter A states, the SGA shall provide for effective student representation in planning, execution, and evaluation of all activities affecting the Texas Southern University student community. Whereas the Student Government Association will play an integral role in Miss Texas Southern University's annual Christmas Extravaganza, promoting community engagement in the local Third World community which surrounds Texas Southern University. Whereas the Student Government Association will play an integral role in Miss Texas Southern University's annual Christmas Extravaganza, providing a memorable and enjoyable Christmas experience for approximately 100 Houston youth. Whereas the total cost associated with such event shall not exceed $3,000, which will cover the cost of food, decorations, activities, toys, and costumes. Whereas the Student Government Association Constitution Article 4, Section 4, letter I states, the Student Senate shall approve by a majority of all SGA expenditures exceeding $200 per week by the SGA President. Be it resolved that the Student Government Association Student Senate shall pass SB-FA-12-14, allocating a total amount not to exceed $3,000 to support the Miss Texas Southern University's annual Christmas extravaganza.
all right, so I passed out a folder so I can do the rundown of the Christmas extravaganza. There will be 100 kids, and each of them leaves with a gift, usually every year. So we put the gifts at $5 to $10 because we would have to go to Toys R Us. There will be 7 stations, a face painting station, a gingerbread house station, ornament decorating, Santa Says, storytelling, and mouse house. There will be a popcorn machine and cotton candy machine at station 2 and 6, and the finale will be the freeze dance with everyone. Each child will get a gift from Santa and take a picture with Mrs. Claus and Santa. And at the end of the gift giving, I've talked to a few of the faculty members and they would like to bring back a snow show for the kids as they're leaving towards the plaza. The goal is to celebrate the 85th anniversary of our illustrious university, but not only confined it to the alumni, faculty, staff, and students, but the future Tigers of this community should be able to celebrate alongside with us. Christmas is a joyous season for children, and it's always great to be able to give the gift of happiness to a child who hasn't even been able to receive that yet. We have reached out to CUNY Homes under Christopher Cut Kelvin, and we will be supporting the U.S. Dream Academy, who is the program that if one parent or both parents are incarcerated, they go into a program to make sure that they don't follow the same track. Thank you.
So in addition to the 100 kids, this will still be open to the public as well?
The only reason why it's not open up to the public is because with the budget, you're confined to get gifts for every child. Every child that comes in has to get a gift. And if we don't have a number, then we end up with a bunch of children and no gifts. So the budget that I have so far in your folders is $2,236.57, and that's without the Christmas tree and the gift wrapping paper and the total of the gifts for the children. However, the snow machine, it says 900, it's not, it's 50% discounted for the university because we will be doing it for a children's program, so that's $270 off 900, then we do it 630. The budget cannot be fulfilled yet, only because we don't know how many kids yet, so when we get the budget, then we'll be able to say this is how many kids we can invite, because that's how many kids we can get.
No questions. Senator Kane? Senator Darby? No questions. Senator Ponte?
The budget was...
Senator Bradford?
Actually volunteered last year for great.
Senator
selected or just?
We try to find the children who aren't invited to other parties, because we have multiple ones on the university, so we try to go around the campus and make it creative.
Senator Fidel?
I wish you to refer to
Senator Rodriguez?
No questions.
Senator Marsh?
Just a comment. I think this is a great idea that you reach out to children because they really need that around the holidays to lift their spirits. And this snow idea is going to be fun. I hope that we can go to it too.
Senator Bass?
Just to piggyback on what Senator Marsh said, I think it's a great idea and I support it.
Senator Seymour?
No question.
Senator Esther?
So we're approving the 600 you were saying, or the 3,000? Right.
3,000.
3,000.
Senator Ford? Senator Miller?
Commend you all. Commend you.
Senator DeLeon?
Great call.
Senator Jones? Is there any for a second round of questions? Senator Parker?
I got one. Have y'all looked for the top publishers on campus? So we have them?
A lot of things tend to disappear on campus, so along with the things that we're buying, these will be reused next year, so they will go in stores. That way the budget can be expanded more for more children.
Get them in the right way.
Yes.
Is there a need for any questions? Saying that for Arden, is there a motion to approve SB-FA-12-14?
I move to approve SB-FA-12-14.
I second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The next item on the agenda,
I move to amend the agenda to allow SB-FA-12-15 to be presented.
I second that amendment.
I move to kill the motion.
I second it.
it's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say
Point of clarification.
aye. Is this not to amend the agenda?
You said kill the motion.
Yeah, I move to kill the motion.
Yeah, so how about this? First, we're gonna vote on if we want to amend the agenda, and the second, well, we would have to vote. So, is there a motion to amend the agenda to allow SB-FA-12-15 to approach?
Didn't we already vote on it? I thought we passed that already.
No, that was Senate resolution. This is a Senate bill.
Do we have it? No, we don't have it.
The agenda says SR. This is a Senate bill. Senate resolution and Senate bill might run on the same number, but there are two different things again, Senate. So is there a motion to amend the agenda?
I move to amend the agenda.
I second that.
That's been moved and properly seconded.
Point of information. Where is this bill or resolution at?
It will be passed up.
The Texas Southern University staffing bill. Okay, now we will vote. Is there a motion to amend the agenda?
I move
To amend the agenda.
Okay, now can I have a second?
Second.
Now, all those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Denied. The next item on the agenda under appointments, by myself. Greetings, Senate. Here with us, we have Miss student Venetia Marthrell, post senator of UAB. She resigned last week, and I requested, well, I asked her would she be interested in becoming the new senator at large of judicial affairs, and she accepted. So this is my effort to appoint her.
Student Senate, this letter shall serve as my intent to appoint Ms. Venetia Marthrell as Senator at Large of Judicial Affairs. I'm confident that Ms. Marthrell has the necessary qualifications and skill set to fulfill the duties and obligations of this position, and I believe she will be a great asset not only to the Student Senate, but to the entire Student Government Association as well. The position of Senator at Large of Judicial Affairs is to perform the constitutional duties. Her assiduousness will be displayed throughout her tenure. And according to the 2010 SGA compensation clause, this position will be compensated at a grade 1 salary.
I pretty much know how the city works, so I'm looking forward to doing it again. I'm a really hard worker, as y'all can see, so I'm looking forward to doing it again.
We're going to one round of questions. Senator Green, Senator Lane, Senator Perry, Senator Kane, Senator Donnie. No questions. Senator Bradley? No questions. Senator Washington? No questions. Senator Owens? Senator Davis? No questions. Senator Crockett? Senator Rodriguez?
No questions.
Senator Morris?
No questions.
Senator Vance? No questions. Senator Seymour?
No questions.
Senator Esther? No questions. Senator Ford? Senator Bautista? Senator Lewis? Senator Galeon?
I have no doubt in your topics and congratulations, but what would be your duties? Like, what would you do?
Well, from what I know, Quentin was just making sure that the Constitution and everything was basically understood and fixed and all that, so I'll be working with stuff like that.
It should also be
it was his position.
for some
Yeah.
judicial activity, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Senator Jones?
We will greatly miss your hard work on the Business and Grants Committee.
I'm not off the Business and Grounds Committee.
but you
She's no longer mandated to the Buildings and Grounds Committee, but she can still be a part of it, Senator Jones.
Is there a motion to approve Venetia Marthrell as Senator at Large of Judicial Affairs?
I second.
The move and properly second. All in favor, please raise your hand and say yay.
Yay.
All opposed?
Greetings, Senate. We're having with me today is Mr. Wiley Walls, being appointed as the Senator of the UAB. This letter shall serve as my intent to appoint Mr. Wiley Walls as the Senator of the UAB. I am confident that Mr. Walls has the necessary qualifications and skill set to fulfill the duties and obligations of this position, and I believe he will be a great asset not only to the Student Senate, but to the entire Student Government Association as well. The position of Senator of the UAB is to perform the constitutional duties, and his assiduousness will be displayed throughout his tenure. According to the compensation clause, he will be compensated at a grade 1 salary.
Good evening, Senate. I would love to, help serve y'all, grant the opportunity. So, again, my name is Wally Walls. Any questions, please be free to ask.
All right, we'll go to one round of questions. Senator Clark? Senator Green? Senator Wayne?
What interests you in this position?
This position, well, I've already, pretty much I've been in UAB for 2 years. So, I pretty much know how it works on the up and down when you go to UAB. So, I really would like to change it because I know the downs. The downs are pretty bad in some way. So, I'd like to change that.
Senator Perry? No questions. Senator Kane? Senator Donnie? No questions. Senator Point?
You said there are a lot of downs. Could you give me one down?
I know one of the downs was the overcrowding of the UAB. I recently just learned that they put 6 people in the 3 bedrooms, which is a no-no. So they're making too much money off it. They're making them pay extra for those single bedrooms. So I definitely have to change that. And a way to change that, I have to pick up with Vinny again, because she was in that position. So, I have to fill her in and help it that way. So as soon as I get in, I'll definitely trying to change that.
Senator Bradford? Senator Washington?
What will you bring to SGA?
I volunteered before on the SGA to help in the live week with the freshman rock the house and the pool party. So I pretty much go out right to help with this and just make it official.
Senator Owens?
First, I commend you for being interested in this position, but being a resident of the UAB, I think it's kind of hard for you to actually know how to fix things. They're not actually living there. I think that was kind of one of the problems Benny had with being UAB and being that she was there last year, because once you're in the second year of the UAB program, you live in the courtyard. So that's more of your jurisdiction there. So being that you would be UAB senator, how exactly would you help us in, making it better?
Well, I would like to work with Donna Joseph and Dr. Brown. I worked on previously, actually, and greeted you freshmen on your first day, first few days coming in to. So I mean, I pretty much know everybody that's over UAB. So I like to work closely with them, figure out their problems there, and actually go students door to door to talk to the students to see what their problem is. Which I know it's been done before, but I like to, get it legitimately done, written down.
Senator Day? Senator Crockett? Senator Rodriguez? Senator Marsh?
How informed are you on Senate? Like, how many Senate meetings have you been coming to know how things are ran, and if you're up to par for that position?
I've been to 3 previous Senate meetings. Right now, I'm trying to pick up on the jargon y'all are using. So, I mean, would be the only problem I could say, but not knowing the appropriate saying as to say it to amend something or change something like that. But I do pick up quickly on things like that. So, in a week's time, I should be able to.
Well, according to the new Senator Preparation Resolution, you don't have to be a grade 3 official for the Senate. And I'd just like to say, if appointed, that there is a town hall meeting tonight at 7 p.m. and I would greatly appreciate if you would be there.
Town hall meeting for
residential housing.
Senator Seymour?
When you stayed at the UAB as a freshman, what was your standing in the program? Did you comply to all the rules as far as the study hall and everything that's required?
I didn't have to go to study hall because my GPA was high enough so I didn't have to go. But to comply to the rules, I went to most of the meetings, the set requirement of the meetings I went to. And I threw events at the UAB also. That's not really what she asked, but I mean, yes, I pretty much have done what they asked me to as a freshman.
Senator Esther?
I think you'll be a great candidate for this since you're still in the UAB program. And also last year when you were in the Greystone part of UAB, you helped out and a tough creations y'all came through and y'all really, turned the UAB around. So it's a really good position. Thank you.
I can vouch for Mr. Walls. Last year, he worked with me as freshman senator. His work ethic is great for his job. And another thing was he was a part of the construction of the UAB Council. He was very outspoken in meetings. He really pushed. He was really involved with the UAB Council last year. Also, I know you have great relationships with Darnell Joseph and Dr. Brown. So I don't think there's any freshmen that have the type of relationship that you have with the upper administration. So I think you're perfect for the job.
Thank you.
Senator Batista? Senator Norris? None. Senator Galliano?
I just want to commend you for being willing to take on this task. It's a huge task, and that takes a lot of character you willing to Senator Marcelo did as well. I commend you for that.
Senator Jones?
I just want to second what Senator Ford said and look forward to having you on the Buildings and Grounds Committee.
Senator Marsh?
Okay, so last question. I know you said you were involved in the UAB Council last year. There is a UAB Council for sophomores as well as freshmen this year right now. Are you a part of it, and what have you already been doing to help UAB
I'm not a part of it, but I did sit in a recent meeting. They're talking about how they want to step more trips up for the sophomores, how they're focusing really more on the freshmen more than the sophomores. So I want to try to help correct that. Other than that, I haven't really tried to get into it yet. I wasn't really aware of the election process of this. Again, the information to the sophomores is kind of bad in my eyes. So I'd like to help change that.
Is there a motion on the floor to approve or to appoint Lonnie Walls as the senator for UAB?
I move to approve Mr. Wiley Walls as the senator of UAB.
Motion has been moved and properly second. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Yeah.
All opposed? Motion passes.
I have one more appointment. Senate. Who I have with me now is Mr. Philip Barber, interested in the Senator of the School of Communications. This letter shall serve as my intent to appoint Mr. Philip Barber as a Senator of the SOC. I am confident that Mr. Barber has the necessary qualifications and skill set to fulfill the duties and obligations of this position, and I believe he will be a great asset not only to the Student Senate, but to the entire Student Government Association as well. The position of Senator of the SOC is to perform the constitutional duties. His assiduousness will be displayed throughout his tenure. According to the 2010 SGA compensation codes, this position will be compensated at the grade 1 salary.
Anything you want to say to the Senate?
Well, first off, let me say my name is Philip J. Barber, and it's an honor to be in front of the Texas Southern Student Body Government. You know what I'm saying? I just want to, thank y'all for giving me the opportunity to express my, what I feel like I can bring to the school,
We're going to one other question. Senator Green, Senator Wayne.
What can you bring to this position?
Well, with using thought, I can only bring myself as a man, with me being a little more seasoned and interacting, if I get appointed to this position, I would be able to express the concerns or the needs that the communication department needs.
Senator Curry, no questions. Senator King.
What's your relationship with, Dean Moore and Adams?
I know him, but I don't know. That's a process where I can get to know him. This right here is a character builder. This is giving me something that I can indulge in, to better myself. So through communication, anything is possible.
Senator Doggy, no questions. Senator Point.
What issues, you're saying how you can bring yourself to the Student Government Association, but what can you bring to the position as Senator of Communication?
Once again, this is something I'm indulging in. This is something that's new to me. So I can only, right now, I cannot truly answer that question, with good sincerity, because I have not really indulged or know really what's really going on with the communications department. But in due time, any question can be answered.
Senator Bradford.
No question.
Senator Washington.
Yes, if we grant you this position of Senator of SOC, if you are put in office, what would be your first order of business?
My first order of business is to get to know, if I'm getting put in office, to get everybody to know I'm part of the student body government. And then from there, I will go, and express, ask, there are instructors, any type of, concerns that they have about, the communication department, anything that's needed, or that we're lacking.
Senator Owens.
What interests you in this position?
With age, comes prosperity. It's a different process. This is helping me, better myself as a human being. To help the school in general and the environment.
Senator Cadet.
Nice change.
Senator Crockett.
What are the things that you feel that the communication department needs to work on? Because from what you just said, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you say you're not really involved in the Department of Communications?
I'm not saying I'm not really involved, but I'm saying I'm unaware.
So how?
So by me indulging in this, I'm going to make myself aware, and then by me being aware, I know what the department is lacking in.
But as a communication major, should you already be aware of those things?
Yes, to a certain extent. I mean, I'm not in the student. I'm not just like all in it. I have expressed, my thoughts to my teachers, my professors, they express their thoughts to me. It's nothing I can truly do until I get appointed to the position, if that's possible.
Senator Rodriguez. Senator Marsh.
Why do you want to be Senator of School?
First and foremost, my major is mass communication, radio, television, and film. So by me being a part of this communication, by me being the Senator of Communication, I can help myself, in my field, and I can also help others.
Senator Bass. No questions. Senator Seymour.
No question.
Senator Esther.
All right, I know you're a hard worker and all that, and then also, if you were to get appointed, we have the new training for the senators, so that will also help you out a lot too, just in case you don't have to. But you are very hard worker, I've seen you in the past. And I had a pleasure, so I know how, I know. Senator Ford.
I can see that you're very passionate. I think you'd be a great addition to our city.
Senator Batista. Senator Norris.
This is to you by way of the Senate Chair. Mr. Senate Chair, from the experience that I've had with you, I give 100% deference to anything that any person that you recommend, because I don't believe that you would do that in any way flippant or any way, without doing your due diligence. So from your own words, why do you recommend appointing or appointing Mr. Barber?
Thank you for the question, Senator Norris. Originally, when I reached out to Mr. Barber, it was when I first became acting Senate Chair. I wanted to appoint him as Senator of the panel in the council. He had just, joined that side of life, and I felt that he would be a good person for that. But there was somebody more qualified, I feel, that had a little bit more tenure in that side of life, and I appointed him, Mr. Senator Crockett. Mr. Barber has transformed. I've known him since 2009. I know a lot of you really don't know him, but the transition that he's made is outstanding in my opinion, and I feel that he can only work hard.
Mr. Barber, I just want to say that I want to commend you for your community service. I'm big on community service, and also your enthusiasm. You're very enthusiastic about, becoming a senator. So I wish you the best.
Senator Jones. Mr. Barber, I don't know you. I know that you're acute, right? And when I see you moving around doing good work, I can't really speak to what I think you may do. I can only go off the recommendation of the leader here, and so I believe everyone deserves an opportunity. So, upon the recommendation, I fully support you, and I believe that you'll do well.
Is there a motion on the floor to approve
Move to appoint Mr. Philip Barber.
If we move in properly second, all in favor, please raise your hand and says
One or the other.
all opposed. Motion passes.
Now that new business is complete, we will close that section, and the next item on the agenda is old business, which is legislation by Senator Norris, SR-FA-12. This is again for the second vote of what we voted on last week. You guys have a copy of it. You can, for the most part, Senators were present at the last meeting. You can just expound on what it is.
In brief, Senators, again, to colleagues in the Senate, to you all in the gallery, basically there are some loopholes in the election code which allow anybody to represent the law school. They can be a freshman and they can be the law school senator and have no connection with the law school. So basically this bill is to say that we want someone who's a law school student to be able to represent the law school and actually be elected from the law school student body to be able to come and represent. And just to give you all just a real quick point, just so you all are aware, the law school, to be accredited law school, you have to have a president, you have to have a student government similar to the SGA. So the law school has a president for each year. We have presidents and secretary, staff, everything like that. So when I report, I report to the law school president. But we just want to make sure, this is a big concern, that we have someone who can adequately represent the law school.
For the senators that were not present, are there any questions on the floor? None? Saying that there are none, is there a motion to approve Senate Resolution SR-FA-12-12?
Second.
It's been moved properly seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The next next item under new business is again by Senator Norris, the AG Power Act, SR-FA-12-13. Can you expound on that again?
Sure. In brief, the Constitution says that the Attorney General has the power to supervise, to advise the executive and the legislative branches. Currently in the Judicial Code, they've written in there that and what's been passed, kind of precedent in the SGA is that the Attorney General can write an opinion. Someone has an issue, they can write an opinion, and whatever the Attorney General wrote, that would become law. And according to the Constitution, that's not legal in any way. This bill is to reinforce the fact that that's not legal. We're going to amend the Constitution specifically to say that the Senate is the sole rule-making body of the SGA, and to redact the part of the Judicial Code which says that the AG can make law. That's in a nutshell what the bill is.
Okay, so for the senators that were not present, are there any questions? Senator Hunter?
My only question is, so when question has been brought to AG and she has to write an opinion on it, is it brought towards the Senate for us to vote on the opinion, or how would that work?
Well, the AG, it doesn't take the power away from the AG to write an opinion. It's just taking the power away from the AG to create law. I'm affirming, if the AG writes an opinion, and AG Wagner, from talking to her, I know she's going to do her due diligence. So I think it's something that persuasively we should definitely follow, for sure. And definitely take heed to, but it just isn't law in and of itself. It can't be binding law.
Are there any further pending questions? Seeing that there are none, is there a motion to approve Senate Resolution SR-FA-12-13?
I move to approve SR-FA-12-13.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Everybody raise your hand and say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Congratulations, Mr. Norris.
Thank you, Senator.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is speeches by students and or guests. Are there any students and or guests wishing to approach the Senate? Yes. Please approach, sir. Please state your name, classification, and major. You have 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, Senate. Good afternoon, gallery. My name is Mary McCubbin, I'm a junior, and I'm here to give a follow-up report on the money that we received from SGA. Thank you. A couple of weeks ago, I came in front of the Senate to ask for money to sponsor a few students to go to Austin to attend the regional conference for National Society of Black Indians. I'm here to report that we were able to sponsor 4 students, 2 males, 2 females, and at the Austin conference, we were very well received and we were very proud to represent Texas Southern. 2 of our students got follow-up emails from a couple of the companies there, giving them internship opportunities. And one of our students, Jayshawn Gaines, came in 3rd in one of the competitions there. I would like to thank Senate Chair Carter for helping me with the topic of the package, and I'd like to thank Comptroller Spencer for helping me get the money in time. Thank you so much.
Are there any other students and or guests wishing to approach the Senate? Please state your name, classification, and major. You have 2 minutes.
My name is Winston Cashin. I'm a senior, management major. Good afternoon to the gallery and also the Senate. I was late today because I was in class, but I was told that we proposed a bill that had been voted on without even being reviewed, without even getting a chance to speak. I would just like to lobby for a chance to speak at the next Senate meeting so that we present our case for the Texas Southern University staffing bill.
Mr. Winston, when we voted on the bill, we just didn't amend the agenda. The resolution still stands, the bill still stands. It will be on the agenda next week, but today it's not.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if I was properly informed on that.
Oh, yeah, so next week, 2 o'clock, that's the last meeting.
Excellent, thank you, sir.
name is Cedric Darden. I'm a senior, and I'm an English major here at TSU. The reason why I wanted to come in and speak to y'all once again, like I did about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I'm the president of Make It Up to Five Fraternity Incorporated, the Alpha Rho chapter. Today, we started at 11 a.m. We kicked off our 24-hour toy drive. So far, it's going pretty good. We probably got like 60 toys and about $40 in donations. So I wanted to come in and just give y'all an update and invite y'all all out again if y'all would like to. I will give everyone service hours if you want to come to the table or donate a toy. It will be 1 hour per toy, and I'll write a letter. And another thing, next Friday, and to the gallery, we are having a free social event, Jam Before You Cram. It's a stress reliever party before finals. So come and have fun. Yes.
Senator Crockett.
2 questions. First question, where's the jamboree, the Jam Before You Cram, where is that located?
Off I-10 East and Longwood at the Old Firehouse.
Okay. Second question, does a financial contribution count? Will that be counted as an hour?
Yes. Yeah. I'll count that all. And y'all know that I'm also a collegiate monster rep, and I brought way too many monsters today for the event. So I'm actually going to hear everyone here the sentence kind of monster.
Senate, can we please remember to keep order? That's my last time. Are there any other students and or guests wishing to approach the Senate? Seeing that there are none, we will close that section. The next item on the agenda is speeches by student government officers. Are there any student government officers wishing to approach the Senate?
Chief of Staff Carter. Hi, Senate. How are you today? I just wanted to give you guys an update on the event that me and President Andrews did today on the How May SGA Serve You. I want to thank the senators that came out and helped us out. We really appreciate it. We got like a bunch of concerns and issues and things of that nature. Another thing that I wanted to ask you guys, it's something that I've been wondering for a long time because the budget every year that I've been in SGA has always been like a problem. Missing money. So I just want to know, once we do this audit and we find out who is taking the money, what actions or precautions are we going to take to punish that person? Because evidently the money is being taken because there are no reprimands for taking the money after it's taken. So I just wanted to put that on y'all mind. Maybe we should set up a bill or something where if you don't go through this process and if you take the money without asking us, something has to happen. That's laundering money and they're taking it from the student body, and I feel like as a forefront we need to protect them and there needs to be punishments put forward. So next time if you know, maybe someone should write a bill after this audit when we find out who's taking it, it don't matter who it is. Punishments need to be. Thank you. And another problem that I didn't understand was the money about the Black Collegiate, where'd you guys go? Congressional Black Caucus. Did some of you guys go on that? Some senators went on that? If you guys didn't approve the money for the Congressional Black Caucus and you went, why wasn't there questions brought up then? Why is it a problem now? This is just some stuff that I've just been wondering that I wanted to bring forth to you guys instead of whispering about it in closed doors. Like maybe as a Senate, as SGA as a whole, like we need to protect our house and we need to start asking questions and being more cognizant of what's going on. So that's my spiel as Chief of Staff. Once again, thank you guys for coming out to my event today. So you guys have any questions?
Are there any questions or suggestions?
I have a suggestion.
Senator Pointer?
I think you should probably take that up with A.G. Wagner to ask her how the punishment should work. And
University. First, I would like to thank the Senate for approving the Christmas extravaganza bill. I'm sure it will be great. This is actually an opportunity to get the student body involved with community service as well. It is a community service event. December 6th, we will have the gift wrapping in this room here. So if you want to come out and help get that ready, that would be awesome. There'll be food and drinks, of course. So just to get to know everybody who'll be working with you the next day. So with the budget that's approved, the plan is to have a snow show for the kids, a bounce house, and 7 stations for them to enjoy. Next week, December 5th, Verizon Wireless will come to the school to present the $7,000 check that we won through the Verizon Ultimate Rank competition. I'd like to give Kyle and any other organizations that want to go ahead and put on a show for Verizon before they hand us the check, since they will be airing it. So that's about it. If there's any questions or anyone wants to get with me to sign up for the gift wrapping and to work the booths at the Christmas festival, then just let me know.
Are there any questions or suggestions? Senator Marsh?
You said December 6th is the gift wrapping. What time is it going to be?
It should be 6 to 9.
Senator Morris?
What time is your Verizon thing?
Noon on the plaza.
Noon, December 5th. Are there any further questions from the students? Are there any other student government officers wishing to address the Senate? Please state your name and position.
Greetings, Senate. Valerie Alexander Lomax, Senate Secretary. This report is to inform you all to once again keep up and be mindful of your track records. Senators are held accountable for not only their judgment, but also attire, code of conduct, compliance, and attendance. I've been sought out personally in reference to a constituent who felt poorly represented within their school due to the lack of communication, involvement, and appearance of their respective senator. After missing multiple meetings, a mandated session, and exceeding 10 write-ups, Senator Ingalls of the Nikki Living Barbara Jordan School of Public Affairs, has paperwork being drawn for his impeachment. Senate, let us not forget that this organization is a working organization. You have to work to get in, you have to work to stay in. Be mindful of your actions. And don't lose sight of why we are here, and that is to better represent our constituents and essentially this university. Thank you.
Are there any questions or suggestions? Secretary.
Yes, sir.
Senator Jones.
Just want to commend the secretary for her work also.
Thank you.
I need to be written up as well. I address code.
I didn't see that, but this
Just for the record, Senator Ingalls did resign today, so the impeachment process is no longer. He will send me an email. So that's all he wrote. Now we have a senator of the public there, school public there. So I'll be in charge of that. If anybody has any recommendations, please send them my way. I'll fill out the applications. Are there any other student government officers wishing to address the Senate?
Hey guys, on the Senate.
Glad to be back up here again. All right. First, I must inform you guys about the committee. We're forming a committee for Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board. On the committee, we need 5 members. Included in this would be actually 2 representatives from the legislative branch, representatives from the judicial branch, as well as the executive branch. So please get with Senator Carter if you would like to serve on this committee. The committee for the Board of Regents also calls for representatives as well, but it just calls for 1 from each branch. So that's not that hard to figure out the representative from each branch to be on the board to approve the next Board of Regents. Next, I would like to pass out Monday issues. we're starting to have our executive meetings every Monday, and this is the agenda / business that we covered. I'm gonna break it up into two. What I'm passing over to my left and your right is the resolution analysis of the updated work that the Office of President and also the Executive Branch have been doing to resolve these resolutions that you send to my desk every week. So I'm gonna pass this to Senator Jones, and also this one. These are the most pressing issues that we're planning to take up by the end of the semester. And I'll actually go down and give you a little update. The website bill, the reason why we're having a hold up with the website is because of OIT, but that is being taken care of. Myself and Senator Carter are now in the works of talking to the OIT to get some things cleared up. The technology enhancement resolution, which only called for 2 scanners. The thing about this one is the Be It Resolved called for way much more than scanners. They called for like technological, to be competitive in technology all across the world or something like that. But the 2 scanners, after the meeting, they felt like the 2 scanners wasn't a good idea, but we're still trying to fight for the 2 scanners. The reason why they said it wasn't a good idea is because the print shop already offers scanning. But the thing that I spoke with Secretary Lomax even before the meeting, we're going to try to expand the print shop so you can actually copy all over campus, you can scan all over campus, and just expand that print shop so you don't have to come to the student center just to use print shop. The Automatic Extended Defibrillator Safety Act, they were real receptive of this. There's already 2 in the rec center and there's already 3 in the HP&E, but it's just a thing of purchasing them and putting them in every building. We want a uniform spot to put these AED machines, so they're easy, effective. There's actually one in the student center, but it's only in Ms. Bennett's office. So that's why it's not in the box downstairs. And the most prevalent issue with the AED machines is that they get stolen. Next, the Heat Act, Healthy Environment and Air Treatment Act. What they're really calling for is no smoking on campus. No smoking all over campus. So this is probably, according to the Be It Resolved, it spoke to renewing this every 2 years and then also regulating the tobacco use. Well, after meeting with Dean Saunders and advisors, they really want to go for a no smoking TSU, keep TSU free of smoking, not just tobacco, just no smoking anything. Next, the Yard is Back. The Yard is Back Act. What we're going to do right now, we're in talks of executing it either 1 or 2 ways, commemorating the traditional trees at the same time as making brand new, planting new trees in the back of the student center. So we're still in works with that. If you'd like to help, please just give us your input. We haven't actually formulated an actual design for the yard, so to speak, yet. But I'll pass this way. Sorry, I have a lot of announcements. I also like to touch on how many SGA served. Like Chief of Staff Carter said, it went perfect. We have over 200 issues that we are going to solve. And with these 200 issues, we're going to make 99 problems any more questions. And we're going to do it again next semester. I know some of the freshman officers are going to do it tomorrow or next week or something like that. So we're going to keep this as an ongoing thing to keep us on our toes. And also, I would like to ask Senator Carter, what was the final count on the bill?
Senate, after myself and Senate Secretary Lomax, we counted, there was only 7 nays on that reconciliation bill, and there's 25 people here. So therefore, 3 people abstained. So the final vote was 18-7, and that's a 2/3 vote to approve that piece of legislation.
Move that we make count for revote next year.
point of question information. Can, on a motion to amend, I don't have a problem with that. This is really specifically just for, an issue that was brought up earlier. If we're gonna amend, like the bill, where we said we'll pass this part of the bill, but not this part of the bill, to make that motion, do we have, once a motion has been made, and then a vote, does a vote have to be made then before you can make that subsequent? And then you can make the subsequent.
So, I just wanted to make the same impressed with that.
You had a comment from.
Senator today, we have a comment? I said, I mentioned at the beginning of the final vote is what I have on the 18th. Are there any other comments or questions?
Oh, so
Again, please no. There's a motion to revote. Is there a second? If you move properly seconded, all those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye. Please raise your hand. This motion is to re-vote on the reconciliation bill. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes, so now we'll bring it back to the floor. The reconciliation bill, fall 2012, SB-FA-1213. All those in favor of approving Senate Bill SB-FA-12-13, please stand.
Oh, this is
all those in favor of approving this bill, please stand.
All of the lights. Lights. All of the lights. Turn up the lights in here, baby.